Hello and welcome to Across Louisiana. My name is Steve Sawyer, your host for the program. We've really got a good show lined up today. It's festival time in New Orleans, and everybody on the show today has got a festival that they're in charge of and organizations that they're doing with, and we've got 5 great guests. We're going to start with Mr. Derby Gisclair. Derby is with Loyola University, and they've got a festival that they're going to be doing, a capital fundraiser. Deacon G, it's always great to have Deacon on the show. He's with the Ozanon M, and just a wonderful organization where they work with the homeless, and they've got a big festival that they've got coming up. He's going to be talking about that. Ashley Mills, always love having Ashley on the show. She is with the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, and they always do their Uncork for the Cure, which is an incredible event they have coming up. David Botner is with New Orleans Mission. David's been on the show many times, and again, the New Orleans Mission working with homeless people. They've got an event coming up that benefits the mission and how you can be a part of that. And finally, Luther Gray. Luther is with Central City, and of course, they've got a festival coming up in the Central City area. That's their 9th annual festival where they're bringing everybody onto the streets, and it sounds like something that's just going to be a wonderful time. Again, some great information for all the festivals that are taking place in the greater New Orleans area. Stay with us. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Across Louisiana. Thank you so much for being a part of the program today. Our first guest is Derby Gisclair. Derby is the co-chair of the Faith and Future Capital Campaign Fund for Loyola University. Derby, thank you so much for taking time to be here.
Well, thank you so much for having us. We're excited to be able to tell you our message.
Well, let's just go ahead and start hearing the message, because you've got 2 big events coming up, November 14th and November 16th. So if you won't, tell us what's going on.
Well, on the 14th, it's our National Night of Service. It's a day of service, actually. Wolves on the Prowl. We'll have 10 cities from San Francisco to Boston and Chicago to New Orleans and every place in between. Alumni and students and just engaged people in the community get out and do wonderful things. So that's going to be on the 14th. And on the 16th, Sister Helen Prejean is going to be speaking that evening at Holy Name of Jesus Church. So that's always an interesting part. So those are upcoming. And then we have a variety of events. You can always go on the university's website and find out something that's going on campus.
Well, the website campaign.loyno.edu, is that the school's website, or is that for the events coming up?
That's for the university's website.
And these events are on
And
that?
you can go to the alumni calendar and find out upcoming events. Each of the schools has upcoming events. We just recently had the rededication of Monroe Hall, which was a fabulous event. We had the Vatican chief astronomer and runs the Vatican Observatory, Brother Guy Consolmagno, came to help us dedicate that building. And it's not only a building for the sciences. Up on the roof, we have 4 pedestals that hold telescopes that are connected to the internet. So you can see light. There's not much light pollution up there, so you can see the skies. But there's also a greenhouse up there for the biology department, and it was a fabulous building. We've also had our artist in residence, Nadja Solano Sonnenberg, who's a world-class violinist, has picked Loyola to do a 2-year artist in residence program for us.
Wow, that's incredible.
So we've got all sorts of things going on all the time.
And these events are on that website, on the calendar?
You can find them on the
forth?
website, absolutely.
And are the events on the November 14th and 16th, are they fundraisers for the school by chance?
No, these are things that we do for the community.
So they're free of charge?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know, and the campaign has a website as well as part of that, and so you can find out all of the different priorities that the camp. If you want to give money, that's certainly the way to do it. Most people would rather be beaten with a bat than ask for money, but that's not my problem.
Nothing wrong with giving money.
The priest at Loyola will tell you that Derby's not wired that way. You know.
Derby, thanks for the information and thanks for being here. Again, we'll put that website up on the screen, and all the information about the university and all the upcoming events can be seen there. These events are free and open to the public and sound like it's a great way to take advantage of some stuff that's a lot of fun to do. We've got a couple more guests. Stay with us. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Across Louisiana. Always a great pleasure to have Deacon G on the show. Deacon is the executive director of the Ozanon M, and we are just so proud to have you here. We love what you guys do for this community. We just can't say thank you enough. And with that, just real quick, talk about the mission of the Ozanon Inn and what you guys are all about and where your support is.
Our mission for the Inn is our new slogan and logo is we give a man a fish to eat today, but we teach a man a fish for tomorrow. We do both emergency shelter, but we also do program rehab, transitional housing program. We serve 96 men, sleep 96 men a night, but we serve the female population as well. A lot of people don't realize that. The only thing I cannot do for the female population is to physically sleep in there. But all of our rest of our service, from food to clothing to legal assistance to, we have 2 clinics, LSU and Tulane, that come in on the weekend. We help people get prescriptions. We help people get state IDs. And the big thing, Steve, that we're moving into more and more all the time is case management. We realize if we're going to help people really get out of their problems and get back into mainstream society again, that we have to really work with them in a little bit more detail, and that's where the case management comes in. So that's what we're doing, and the bottom line is that when they leave our program, particularly our in-house program, that they have a job in a place that they're own to go to.
Yeah,
and that's what the case management's really get into.
Before we run out of time, I want to get in. You've got your Century Club Gala that's happening on November the 12th.
Yes, sir.
35 years that you've been doing this. The Inn has been in existence for over 60, right?
Correct.
Yes, this is the 35th annual. I don't think on this show I've had anybody have a 35th annual event. So congratulations on that. That's awesome. Tell us a little bit about that event.
The gala, we changed the venue from about 3 or 4 years ago from, say, the hotel type setting to more of a relaxed atmosphere. I call it reception style. We're holding it on the river. If people are familiar with where the Spanish Plaza and Spanish Fountain is, the restaurant called Poppy's Crazy Lobster, which is a very good friend of mine, the Tuzas, they are hosting it for us. We use part of their restaurant, but we also use part of the wharf area. We get permission from the Port Commission and so forth. It's an outside event. We have food, drink. We have a live band, live entertainment. We also have a silent auction, so hopefully people can come out. And like I said, we find with the relaxed atmosphere, people can go around and mingle and talk to the people they went to a little bit while the food is there.
Is there a start time?
It starts from 6 o'clock at 6 to 9. We ask it's $100 per person.
But it's a fundraiser.
It's a fundraiser.
All the proceeds go back to the Inn, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's our major fundraiser every year. This is where we hope, with the support from the community and everybody, that kind of puts a lot in our pockets.
Yeah, and Deacon, we'll put the website on the screen. It's ozanaminn.org. All the information on the event on November 12th can be found on the website, as far as information on the Ozanon Inn itself, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Deacon, listen, thanks again so much for being here. We always love having you guys on the show. Most importantly, thank you for what you do for this community. We've got a few more guests. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Across Louisiana. It's always a pleasure for us to welcome Miss Ashley Mills to the show. Ashley is the Executive Director for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Ashley, thank you so much for taking time to be here. Just always loved having you on the show, because we always love talking about the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Y'all do just such an incredible job. So what I'd like to do real quick, talk about the mission of Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, then we'll get into a big event that you've got coming up.
Sure. The mission of the foundation is to fund research towards a cure for the disease, and we recently changed it in the last couple of years to include making sure that patients have access to those drugs as well, because we have really exciting drugs coming through the FDA process that are attacking the disease at the root cause. Something that you've never had before? I mean, something that new? Yes. Wow. This is a groundbreaking drugs that actually correct the defect at a cellular level for cystic fibrosis patients. You have to come back on the show and tell us more of that, because I do want to move into Uncork the Cure, because with a name like that, you know it's got to be a party, and I think it's taking place, if I'm not mistaken, November the 12th. Yes, November 12th at the Cannery. It's a brand new venue for us, and it's a champagne and sparkling wine tasting event. It's going to be amazing. We'll probably have 25 to 30 different sparkling wines and champagnes to sample. There'll be a silent auction. We've got a jewelry pull from Kendra Scott and a wine pull, so people can take their chance at fancy bottles of wine for as little as $10. Wow. And a great live band too, which is a new addition to the event. Now, jewelry pool, what exactly is that? So Kendra Scott is a amazing community partner, and they'll have 75 different grab bags. Everything is worth at least $50 up to a couple $100. Yeah. And for a donation of $50, you get to grab and see what you can win. So it's just one bag's got a lot of stuff, and then just on down the line, it's just different denominations. Exactly. That's incredible. Yes. What time does the event take place? Our VIP party starts at 7 o'clock. The general admission starts at 8. And this year we have a fashion fashion show incorporated as well that'll happen probably around 9, along with an honoree presentation. We've got 7 young professionals who are actively raising money for us, and they're our New Orleans finest honorees.
Is this your biggest fundraiser that you have during the year?
No, our biggest fundraiser is our Great Strides. We
Okay.
raise about $150,000 there, but this is going to be our biggest year. We're aiming for about $45,000 to $50,000.
And the cannery is a great location.
Yes.
We were just there not too long ago. All right, so the website is louisiana.cfhealth.org. All information on the November 12th Uncork the Cure event can be found on the website as
It can.
far as cystic fibrosis itself and everything, all the information you need. And so forth.
Absolutely. They can call our office too at 504-455-5194.
Okay, Ashley, thank you so much for being here. Best of success for the Uncork the Cure. Stay with
Absolutely.
us. We got a couple more guests. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Across Louisiana. It's always a pleasure and honor to have David Botner with us. David is the executive director for the New Orleans mission. And David, it's always a pleasure to have you here because it takes special people to do what you guys do. And God bless you, for doing this. It's a hard job. I know it is, but you always bring good information and good facts and figures. And what I'd like for you to do real quick, talk a little bit about the mission and what the organization's about and how you help people and so forth and how you can even get there.
Okay. Well, Steve, thank you for having me on the show, too. The organization has been around for 25 years, so we help hurting people. A lot of people think it's just a homeless shelter, but it's really more than that. It's a place where people can be rescued, they can be recover, whatever from life's all ailments, the hurts, the wounds, the trauma, the pain, whatever they're suffering from. And then they can help to re-engage them back to a fruitful life. So it's more than just food, clothing, shelter. The food, clothing, shelter is just the tool to bring them in the door, to get them completely healed so that they can become all that God created them to be, which is hopeful, purposeful, and valued.
Men and women, kids?
Men and women, and now we have women with children for emergency only.
Okay.
So we don't have a long-term solution for women with children. We just try to get them in, get them safe, and then find another solution quickly.
Okay, and David, I want to talk about a gala that you have coming up, a Veterans Gala. Talk about that because it's on November the 11th, and I believe, is it the Veterans Gala that you guys are having? Yep,
so we're having it at the World War II Museum. It'll be at 7 o'clock. Last year was a great event. We had about 600 people.
Wow.
Similar this year. We were expecting about the same. But it is going to be for our homeless veterans that are in our city and that we're serving each and every day. Last year, the New Orleans mission served about 200 homeless vets. And that's men and women. And these are men and women that served our country that are living on the streets. But they're working in our program through rescue, recovery, and re-engagement. And through our gala, we're actually renovating a home in our newly purchased North Shore property where we have 60 acres with a basketball court, swimming pool, stock fishing pond for veterans to kind of decompress and to work through that recovery and re-engagement.
And what time does the event start?
It's at 7 o'clock.
7, and it's a fundraiser, so is there a cost for admission?
Yeah, it's $150 a chair, but 100% of the proceeds will go to building that veterans dorm and putting a well into the ground to have the additional water source for homeless veterans.
Yeah, that's great. David, do me a favor as we get more toward the colder months are coming up and everything. I'd love to have you come back and talk about cold weather and the homeless and things that you guys do to help and so forth. Because that the holiday season is when we focus on that. So I'd love to have you come back again. God bless you for what you do, you and your organization. We have one more guest. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Our last guest, and we do always save the best for last, is Luther Gray. Luther is with the Central City Festival, and he's actually the producer for the festival. It's the 9th annual festival coming up. But Luther, I'd like to start a little bit by talking about the organization, kind of the mission of the organization and some of the things that y'all are focused on.
Well, thank you, Steve. The organization is the Aretha Castle Haley Merchants and Business Association.
And that's Central City, right?
Yes, that's
Okay,
in Central
all
City. Central City borders South Claiborne, from Martin Luther King to like Louisiana Avenue, from Claiborne to St. Charles.
right. Okay.
And the Aretha Castle Haley Boulevard corridor is a hot corridor now, and there are a lot of businesses coming along, a lot of social profit organizations. So the Aretha Castle Merchant and Business Association helps to kind of coordinate and unify everyone. And our big event every year is the Central City Festival.
Okay, so talk about the festival. It's Saturday, November the 7th, times and all the stuff that you can see and do at the festival.
Right. The festival is from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and we'll be dancing in the streets. The theme of it this year is dancing in the streets, and the stage is located on the corner of Felicity and Aretha Castle Haley Boulevard, and the festival is from Felicity to Terpsichore. It's a 2-block-long festival, and we have children activities, we have cooking demonstrations, we have a health fair, we have arts and crafts, we've got food, and of course we've got several dance organizations and some great music. And I'd like to tell you more about all those acts if you'd like to know about it.
Is it a fundraiser for the area? I mean, is there a cost to get in, or you just sort of buy things along the way?
Yeah, it's free and open to the public. The goal of the festival is to encourage people to find out more about the neighborhood, and also we've encouraged a lot of the neighborhood residents to participate as vendors. So we're trying to create economic opportunities for people in the neighborhood itself.
And this is the 9th year that you've done this?
Yes, it's
Wow.
been growing. It started out as a gospel festival, and 3 years ago we've rebranded it as a Central City Festival. Last year we broke the Guinness Book of World Records as the most people twerking for 2 minutes with Big Frida. So this year we're continuing that tradition of dancing in the streets.
Yeah, all right, so you got to tell me real quick before we run out of time, what's twerking?
Want a demonstration?
No.
Twerking is a dance that kind of originated in New Orleans, where you really kind of dance with your backside in motion.
Yeah.
Up and down, side to side, around in
All right.
circles.
Well, you'll have to come back on the show after the event, talk about the event, and let us know how the twerking went. Luther, thanks so much for being here. We greatly appreciate it. Best of success for the festival. That is a huge growing area.
Yes.
I go to that area a lot. Cafe Reconcile is a great place to eat. So that whole area is just booming, and best of success. You've been watching Across Louisiana. My name is Steve Sawyer. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. We appreciate it. And as always, we'll see you next time.